Good afternoon, good time zone, and warm greetings to wherever you are in the world. This is Amelia, aka Puffin, and we are here today for another study session with TGCF. Taps the sign. Yeah, I had to relocate a little bit because my cords are simply not long enough to use the same angle and sort of place where I used to sit for the study sessions. And that's fine. This was way easier to set up. Usually I sit over there. Now I'm sitting over here. However, it did feel a little bit empty, so I did bring the corkboard with me. Usually I leave the coffee mentions board over here, but it still felt a little bit empty over in the corner because of the blackout blinds. Like I have a lot of open windows on this side that I can't really do anything about, and then I can't keep this open because the light source would just mess up all the lighting in here. So I made a sign so that you won't forget what you're supposed to be doing here. I know some of you can be a little bit distracted, but let's not spend too much time on that. I am steeling myself for this rewatch. I've been tearing up way too much this week, rewatching and editing the episode already. So now it's time to get serious about my fictional boys in love. That said, this will be my first time watching the Mandarin version, so I can't promise my eyes will stay dry. We'll see. There are some things I know I'll be paying extra attention to this episode. For one, anything Long Chen Cho says, especially about the Chandler remnants, which turns out to have been one of the missing pieces to my whole Shellyan function puzzle. The cause behind the actions, so to speak. I'm not sure we've uncovered everything though, I feel like there's more to it, but I feel like that's the one thing that I was kind of missing. A reason for all of this, a reason to put himself in between. Yeah, in between what exactly? Where the young and like, I'm already having new ideas just sitting here talking about this. Like, Long Chen Cho said that his father was trying to make peace and make sure that everything was fine, building understanding and unity between the two people of Yong'an and then the remnants of Chandler. But there was still discord, right? And if there's been like hundreds of years of this sort of discord, then that's not something that you can just easily change. Like, this is a work in progress. It's probably been happening for years, and the old king could really have been working towards reconciling these two people. So in that scene when Long Chen Cho kind of says, "It is my decree now that Yong'an and Chandler are one," like, if he made it happen, it's probably because there was a lot of work put into it, including that of Shellyan as the state preceptor, as was kind of mentioned. Anyway, I will be paying a lot of attention to this. These are just thoughts that I'm voicing out for the first time. Another thing I will be paying attention to are any mentions of Chi-Rong. This guy turned out to be the star of the comment section last time. I ended up doing like a tally because I was like, his name is popping up way too often, and I know it's because he's supposed to appear in the next episode, and that's understandable. But the thing is, he has been mentioned before throughout season 2, throughout season 1, and people have said that they're looking forward to me meeting him, even before this. I understand that he is a little bit of a polarizing character, but that's kind of exciting to me. I really have no idea what to expect. But since half the comments of the last episode mentioned him, I guess we're in for a ride. So I'm excited. Like, I have thoughts about Chi-Rong because we have a little bit of information about him, but I also think that my expectations are of a kind of stereotypical sort of anime bad guy-ish sort of thing, and I feel like maybe I'll be surprised because the way you guys are so excited about him. I don't know, like, he just gives that classic delinquent sort of feel right now, but we'll see. So, last piece of information, I am watching from a different source this time around. If Crunchy would have been able to keep a watchable quality on their subtitles, I would have kept watching it from an official source, so to speak. But I've had to work around that because of the frankly atrocious quality, and this is not the first time this has happened with Crunchyroll. Like, you can, if you're around anime YouTube, you will have seen discussions about all of this. There are some really good video essays and just discussions about Crunchyroll as the sort of monopoly for anime right now. Like Netflix is a big player as well. But all this is neither here nor there. This is not what I'm here to film a video about. I'm here for them. So without further ado, let's get rolling.
我害你受那么重的伤，为什么你还能笑着跟我说对不起，还反过来说要补偿我？为什么？
Just all the looks they give him.
三郎，这是怎么了？别理他。
Trying to brush it off. Sword abuser.
整天就知道哭，没用。
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I gave a lot of praise to this scene in the dubbed version, but I have to say the performance here is really good as well. I love the little kind of shaky feel you have in Sandong's voice right now. The sort of breathy regret you kind of hear as well. So good. But also so annoying that this conversation gets cut off so quickly. Like, that's the entire episode, honestly. It's just Hualien getting interrupted when they're in really important emotional developments. Like, basically, this conversation gets cut off by the cliffhanger in the last episode, and it only moves a little further before we get cut off again by Fang Xin. Like, the only additional thing that happens in this conversation is Hua Chang's sword abuse. That's seriously all that happens. Like, we get, I suppose that this gives us some confirmation about Hua Chang's self-depreciating tendencies once again. Like, it's additional evidence. But also, Arming is so cute. Please treat your sword better, Hua Chang. Shilian, you need to take more authority over this this thing. You need to make sure that he treats his sword nice. This sounds so wrong. Ah, the tinnitus.
糟了，这法器切不可鲁莽开启。住手，先别。
Gosh, I miss these girls. Okay, here we are. That mask. Gosh, I managed to pause it at the perfect time. That is Qirong. Like, I had this theory that it could have been the Waning Moon officer because he has a similar looking mask, but this is definitely Qirong as we saw in that one image in the last episode. Well, this episode. But it also flashes with these other masks and the hair and everything is so different. Yeah, like, is it Qirong? I feel like it's not. I feel like it could be someone else. Like, it could be different characters, or it could be... The thing is, I thought it was Bai Wuxiang the first time I saw it. Is this coincidence? Or is Qirong somehow connected to Bai Wuxiang? Like, there are a lot of things that we have to talk about regarding Qirong and his connection to apparently Lang Chenqiu. But now that I know what more of these scenes and images are in the opening, I am starting to wonder, like, what kind of connections are they trying to show us through the imagery? He's so pretty, what can I say? Oh, what am I gonna do when this show is over? This opening is just everything.
Come! 谁他妈知道这门到底要怎么开啊？南阳将军，我知道。
He's so
之前我和太
cute.
子殿下出公务，仙境哪来的头子？你们倒是给我找一个出来啊！
Again, I just love how he was so proud of it. This whole fucking scene. Just notice that when Wu Qing made the dice, it coincidentally showed up as 4 in his hand, and when Nanfang threw them, they ended up being 4 once again. It's a silly detail that doesn't mean anything, but I just noticed and I thought that was kind of funny, kind of cute. I love how we do get to see more about their dynamic now that they're alone and Shelian is not in the room. Like, yes, this is still about getting to Shelian, finding Shelian and helping Shelian, but they are the two of them, you know, and it's fun. And I do quite like that. We see Fang Xin literally just snatching them out of his hands. Like, that is actually not something I thought Function would do. Like, he seems a little too upright for it, but I'm starting to see that he is maybe a little bit more gritty than I anticipated. Or perhaps just with mooching.
南阳将军，你怎么了？我真的靠了！你们小心啊！掷出来的点数不同，到的地方也不同。
风信、木晴，听得到吗？三郎，这骰子掷出4点会传去哪里？
It's cute. So I do really love that Sholian is super concerned for them. Like, yes, he's just been through this himself and knows that it's quite a pain. But he also knows that they're quite capable. And even though it would be inconvenient if they did catch up to them. Like, I even think he says later on, at least in the dub, that he hopes this will be confusing enough for them not to catch up or whatever. I didn't remember it word by word right now. But it's just a little crumbs of Shamlik trio is what's keeping us alive here. Literally starving.
投骰子的人觉得最恐怖的。哪里藏着掉？竟然丢出个
Mooching, why are you so scared of this? I mean, yeah, it is an uncomfortable situation to be in, but you could have just turned around while you stood there and just walked out without making any commotion. Oh gosh, they're so funny. Of course, they have to do these things together.
这对风信可确实堪比龙潭虎穴了。
Landed himself in the lion's den.
这法术悬得很，两位将军小心啊！
Windmaster is so cute. What's new, Scooby-Doo? So, I did remark upon this feeling very Scooby-Doo-ish to me the first time I watched it. Like, these crocodile beasts, man. Like, they do look like people in costumes. Funnily enough, apparently I'm not the only person who noticed. Emma sent me an edit that they made with one of the songs from Scooby-Doo in the background of this scene. And apparently, Danny Mata also reacted to this show and he said the exact same thing. Was that what the animators were going for? I don't know, but it's funny that so many people felt that association just watching this. I don't know if they're supposed to feel a little bit more Chinese in a sense, like as actual monsters you would encounter in fables, fairy tales based on Chinese culture. Like just what exactly this dark marsh thing is supposed to be, but I don't know, I don't actually think it's that important, but I just thought it would be fun to mention that this was a very choice. It was a choice, and it made me feel a sort of way, and a lot of other people feel the same way.
把骰子给我，还是我来丢？
你越近都比你越好，谁知道你还会掷出这么伤风败俗的？骰子给我！
刚才骰子不就是在你这儿？骰子呢？
Oh my gosh, these children. Even the crocodiles just backed away from it. Oh my goodness.
这俩怎么又打起来了？这是第几次？
Gosh, this is it's so ironic that these guys were literally shaking in their pants a few minutes ago, and now that someone is actually trying to do something, they're just standing around. Like, they're not helpful. All they're doing is being entertained. I already did not like heaven officials in general. Gosh, they're so... This is just... What exactly did you guys do to be allowed up here? I think Watchung is right, actually. Maybe heaven has low standards.
那我站南阳将军。
对。
At least Shou Qingchuan was taking this more seriously. Here we go.
山野精怪，
Another
应该不
romantic
至于拿
stroll
得住
through
风
the
信木器。
forest.
愿他们能早些放弃才好。
Yeah, this is what I
幸
remember
好
him
我一丢
saying.
就丢出个三郎来。三郎，是不是只要投出2点就能见到你？不是。啊，原来不是啊。那我弄错了。其实，只要你想见我，不管丢出几点，你都能见到我。
Oh my gosh. The little smile. Hua-Chung's answering smile, I'm fucking,
三郎，
It's so good. It's so good. Oh gosh, we already kind of discussed this scene a little bit in the server, and also someone mentioned it a couple of times in the comments, but it's such a good scene. And I honestly think this is a turning point. I'll definitely be talking about this in the next episode. But this, for Shirley-Ann, is probably very new. This is pretty momentous, and I think that for their relationship as a whole, this changes things. It's a really good, really vulnerable scene, but also I think that Shirley-Ann is realizing something. What exactly that is, let's get into it later. Here he is. Threw the fucking sword down. That's really cool, actually, their reflection in the hilt. How exactly did he find them so quickly? We are literally listening in on the communication array, which he is also in, and they're not getting where they want to be, but he just managed to find them really quickly. How exactly did Lang Chen-cho find them so quickly? Taking charge.
好。这是你自找的。
That sword is so cool, but also Shirley-Ann holding a sword is so cool. Same, Hua-Chang, same. Oh. There goes
绝不敢
Roya.
挡我。
That was a smile. You could just see the band stretching the smile. Roya is so cute.
国师，你这是干什么？
好险，好险！
快放开我！
Just like letting go of the sword so easily.
刚才我可是非常认真的在跟你决一死战的，兵不厌诈，偷袭也是一种战术。如果你的对手不是我，你现在早就已经死了。
It's so cheeky, and Hua-Chang loves that.
我从来都是这样，只是你不知道罢了。我记得很早以前就对你说过，不要擅自在心里给我立一座神圣不可侵犯的丰碑。我并非是你想象中的那个样子，到最后失望的也还是你自己。
Gosh, I love this scene so much, and just the fact that they're showing Hua-Chang's reaction to this. Again, like it's absolutely on purpose. I remember telling you, don't create an inviolable monument to me in your heart without my consent. I am not the person you imagined. And in the end, it's your own disappointment. Oh gosh.
下次不要再这样着别人的道了。
你站住！
It's heartbreaking, but also very real in a sense. What Shirley-Ann is saying is that you saw what I wanted to show you, and I am not a perfect person. If you create in your heart a version of me that is, you're going to be disappointed. But I also do think that Shirley-Ann weighs his own mistakes heavier than anyone else would. Like again, going back to the sort of perfectionist streak that I feel like he had going on, especially in his youth. Like, that's something you'd have to unlearn over time. Has he been able to do that? Just some musings. But also, this is directly tied to Hua-Chang's perception of Shirley-Ann as the crown prince who saved him, as the person who's later, very soon after, actually became a god. And then a god who failed his nation. Like, I feel like Hua-Chang and I have both been rowing a lot in our lives. But now he has Shirley-Ann directly saying this, but to someone else, but he is hearing the message and he is obviously relating it to himself and his own perception and how he has viewed Shirley-Ann. I wonder if this is a turning point in that sense as well, or if Hua-Chang for now simply just disagrees, you know? Denial. Right. Anyway, let's get into this part. Gosh.
你要什么交代？
国师，和父皇母后对先勒国移民不好吗？你做出那种事后，很多人曾进谏，说是你们先勒移民所为。
臣恳请陛下下旨，彻底清剿永安境内所有先勒移民。
Because after Shirley-Ann, as Function, took the blame of the whole massacre and was executed for it, his plan was to make sure that the remnants of Shanle were blameless, that they would not take blame for this. And it's like he says, like Lang Chenjo says, even after the perceived culprit is dead, a lot of people are still calling for the rest of the Shanda remnants to be hunted down and taken care of as well. Preemptive measures, huh?
风行有道从未言明说自己是仙了人
Function the demon, wow. Okay, so the Shanda remnants have been involved in attempted assassination or even assassinations of members of the royal family before. The way it's phrased here, it seems like this has been a long time since that happened, though. I mean, there could always be that some of these Shanda remnants people still carried some of that resentment and tried to act on it years and years later, such as in this Gilded Banquet massacre. But as we know, well, we don't know, but Hua Chang seems to think that Lang Chencho needs to meet Qi Rong or someone connected to Qi Rong, as we'll see later. So I'm thinking that there are more pieces to this puzzle that we haven't gotten to yet and that will be revealed to us very soon. But this is still important because it lets us know what kind of climate Shelian as the state preceptor was operating in, and also maybe why he ended up doing what he did.
千秋，你知道作为一国的君主，最首要的一点是什么吗？
Most important aspect of being a ruler.
他们性情不同，也会有些自己的小心思，却都将是你的子民。殿下，爱护好你的子民。
Take care of your people.
他不是仙乐人。下旨，此后境内再无永安、仙乐之分。陛下三思啊！
I have so much respect for that decision by Lang Chencho. Like, he is obviously warring with these things inside of himself. And there's a lot of disappointment and betrayal. He still sees what Shelian taught him as something important. And it seems like it aligns with maybe what his father was trying to do as well. Love your people, take care of them. That is your mandate as a ruler. That's the responsibility that you're taking on. And he did. And I think that's both on his own merit and because he is probably in his own sort of denial and has been for a long time, which is why he's confronting Shelley in the way he does now. But I think most of all, Lang Chencho's grief here is about not being told the truth. I think it's going to be exciting to delve into it and see if we're ever going to tell him, like if he's ever going to really know what happened and what his reaction is going to be. What is our reaction going to be? I'm excited about that too. The scene.
整整5年，父皇尊他为国师，敬他为师父。 甚至流尽咽后，群臣劝谏，我却一意孤行，保下了所有仙乐人的性命。国师啊，你是故意耍我们，耍我的吗？那一天是我的生辰啊！就因为你的17岁是一道坎，所以你要把我的17岁也变成一道坎吗？
I just want to pause there as well because I thought this was really interesting. Just because your 17th year was a hurdle or was hard, why did you have to make mine one as well? Shelian's 17th year, as we learn in the prologue, was about him, like experiencing these two tales. The first being that he saved the child who fell down from the city gate wall. I don't quite remember. Saved the falling child and then refused to take punishment for that because he perceived that as the right thing to do. And 2, killed that ghost or let it to rest, the ghost that guarded that bridge. And then met the Heavenly Emperor who said that his future was bright and infinite or something. And then he ascended. And he didn't descend before Shanda started falling apart 3 years later. So I don't know, like it doesn't seem like a hurdle in that sense. Like, yeah, there were a lot of trials, but Shillian succeeded at these trials in his own way and from his own perspective, probably. So I don't really understand this exclamation, really. But, you know, it was the start of Shillian's rise and downfall. So maybe that's kind of what Lang Chenzhou is referencing here, that was the start of very rapid climb to the top and even more rapid descent.
你如果想要我像你那样变得满心怨恨，我偏不。无论你怎么对我，我都绝不会变成你那样的。
Oh, the way Hua Chang's looking at him.
好，说得好，好好记住你今天所说的话，你是绝不会变成我这样。
He is so cute. Yeah, I understood pretty soon after the scene, like the first time I watched it, when you saw him flick Lang Chenzhou, that he's not a Matryoshka doll, but gosh, I got so into the idea of TGCF Matryoshka dolls now. Like, I got to talking with some people in the server about, like, a whole set of TGCF Matryoshka dolls where you kind of, like, open them and then you have a different version of that character inside. It would be really cool to have, like, one for Shillian and one for Hua Chang. Can I paint Matryoshka dolls? No. But I have a need to have that. TGCF Matryoshka dolls. That said, I wouldn't say no to having these little TGCF, I don't remember the name of these dolls, but you know, the ones that you punch down and they go back up again. Bugudaoeng? Oh. Yeah, so I searched for Bugudaoeng, literally just that word, and the first thing that pops up, like there are 4 images and the 3 first ones are TGCF ones. Did you popularize the word Bugudaoeng in the English language? But yeah, I shit you not, like the first 4 images were just TGCF ones, and then that's so funny. Like, I didn't even put TGCF in it. Good thing I've already seen these now. That could have been a spoiler. Whew. It's Shillian, Windmaster, Earthmaster, Taihua, Hua Chang. They're so cute. Anyway, I don't even want to talk about this scene. I'm probably going to talk about this scene, but I don't want to talk about this scene. It just makes me so... It is interesting, though, to just watch Hua Chang's reaction to this and just trying to imagine what he might be feeling and thinking. Like, there are a lot of things that just haven't been unraveled to us, and I feel like these things won't be unraveled to us before we really understand Hua Chang. This is a bit of like a Yuri on Ice moment, I think, where, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, so Yuri on Ice, right, is a show of 12 episodes, and episode 10 is very famous because it has a reveal that makes you review the entire rest of the show in a very different way. And I think it's a little bit like that. Like, once you have gotten towards the end of TGCF and you finally understand Hua Chang better and his motivations and what he's been up to and all that, then you could go back and watch this and have an entirely different understanding of what is going on. And that's kind of what I feel whenever I see Hua Chang reacting to something.
Chenqiu?
So cute. He's so satisfied with himself. And also, we are going into, like, Qirong now. Let's pay attention. Gosh, he's so cute.
这人真是什么心态，都长这么一副傻样。带他一起走吧。走去哪里？这里。
Completely unrelated. Hua Chang just threw 1 dice up and then caught it. Like, does the individual dice also have additional things that they do? I mean, Hua Chang obviously controls it as he wants, like that was just a switch for him. But individual dice with individual rooms. We've just expanded this whole dice thing. We have even more possibilities now.
哥哥，跟我来。
Oof, that was still a Leon. I can't believe I'll forever be robbed of my gugus. So again, just noting that Shillian did bring the sword along. This is a sword that he presumably hasn't had since he was the Fangxing Guoshi, right? And perceivably, Lang Chenzhou has been taking care of it for all this time. Like, he even brought it with him to heaven after he ascended. So it's probably a very valuable blade, like it must have some sort of significance. It's very gnarly looking, and I want to get a bit more into it and my theories behind it in the next episode as well. It just doesn't seem like Shillian style, though it does seem like it could be Fangxin's style. Just keeping an eye on that one. I love how Hua Chang just looks so confident, and because he looks so confident, Shelian gets less worried. Like, he looks at him and just feels more at ease. I mean, he should be, but it kind of like, it gives him a confirmation of, this is what Hua Chang has planned. Like, there is nothing surprising about this. But he also is a bit funny, he's a bit mischievous, as per usual. Because he's not telling Shelian what is going on. And just lets him be pretty surprised when he's suddenly in disguise and all that. The hesitation. He doesn't want to use the sword. The little sweat drops. Oh, it's such a cute design. I love them. They're so adorable. So did Hua Chang like pick these designs? Is that why Shelian is so cute? Or is it just like he just did the spell or whatever and you would get whatever disguise of blue ghost demon that fits you? In which case the design would still be really pretty and beautiful, because that's Shelian, right? That's his thing. That's one of his traits. He's fucking gorgeous.
这是何苦？轻轨七容嘛，早说他品味低下。世人道他青灯夜游，是图些风雅意境。
轻轨洞府，不是早就被你一锅端了吗？
Now we're back to the old crunchy translations here to Green Immo. Someone mentioned to me that Immo is actually not a word, it's just short for immortal or something. An interesting choice for a translation, but they don't use it in the dub anymore either, so whatever.
是端了，可惜让他给跑了，花了50年，才只有建立了新王。
So 50 years ago, Sanlong was in Qirong's lair and decimated it. And then Qirong escaped. But was it 50 years ago that Sanlong then got his title? So that's pretty recent then. So before then, was Sanlong as, well known? Like Crimson Rainsoul Flower was because of that flower that he shielded after fucking up Qirong's lair. And so when exactly did he become powerful? Like, we know that he has been dead for quite a while, like he probably died 800 years ago-ish. How long did it take him to become a ghost king after that? And how long did he spend searching for Shelian after becoming a ghost king? Did he search for him before becoming a ghost king? Yeah, the timeline is a little bit muddled for me, but I'm hoping to clear it up the more we learn. So 50 years ago, Qirong's lair was destroyed, Sanlong gets his title, and now we're here 50 years later. Which means that Qirong has been around for also at least 50 years. Probably more than that. And because he's mentioned as someone that Lang Chencho needs to meet, he probably was around 200-300 years ago when Yong'an was a thing. When Lang Chencho was the crown prince, mortal crown prince of Yong'an.
要不先把千秋的咒术解了，让他先走，我再陪你。
不，你带着他。我要让郎千秋去见个人。
But the question is it Qirong that he wants him to meet, or is it someone else? Like, Qirong obviously has a lot of followers. It could be someone else as well. We could be introduced to multiple characters, but Qirong is definitely the prime suspect right now. And that's it. That's it for this study session. There are so many things that we can get into here. But at the same time, I feel like we're gonna get answers to some of these things in the upcoming episode. So I think I'll try to keep my discussions brief, though I feel like when I say that, I know that's a fucking lie. It's not gonna be brief, it's gonna be... I'll try to keep it brief. I don't imagine I'll need to run a court case in the next episode. However, I have started to fancy myself a doll maker. I didn't think I'd say this, but dolls are so cute, and especially when they are TGCF themed. Once my tax return comes in, I might have to get that one Shelian doll. You know which one. I don't know what it is with this doll, but I am absolutely obsessed with the way it looks at you. Like, he is happy to see you, but he will also murder you on the spot. Like, I feel like I would wake up and he's gonna stand in my hallway or something in the middle of the night. Anyway, that was a divergence. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this study session, and I am super excited to see you in the next one.